हेलो एंड वेलकम टू वाइज आईएएस। पिछले लेक्चर में हमने डिस्कस करा था मीनिंग ऑफ सेकुलरिज्म। आज के इस लेक्चर में हम सेकुलरिज्म का टॉपिक कंप्लीट करेंगे और इसके साथ कम्युनलिज्म को भी डिस्कस करेंगे। तो अगर आपने अभी तक वाइज आईएएस का ऐप डाउनलोड नहीं करा तो आई विल रिक्वेस्ट यू ऑल टू काइंडली प्लीज डाउनलोड द ऐप सो दैट आपको सारा कंटेंट इजीली सॉर्टेड तरीके से अवेलेबल हो। So we are already familiar with the meaning of word secularism. तो सेकुलरिज्म हमें मालूम है कि किसी भी एक रिलीजन को ना मानना और हर एक रिलीजन के लिए सद्भावना और सेम भावना रखना। Secularism, you can say, it means the separation of religion from political, economic, and social or cultural aspects of life, as we have already discussed. तो सेकुलरिज्म की बात करें तो इंडियन हिस्ट्री में सेकुलरिज्म का बहुत इंपॉर्टेंस रहा। Secular traditions are very deep rooted in the Indian history. You can say the Indian culture is based on the blending of various spiritual traditions और social movements. तो इंडिया का कल्चर इन सबसे मिलजुल कर तो बना है। अब एंशियंट इंडिया की बात करें, सनातन धर्म की अगर बात करें या फिर हिंदुइज्म बोलूं मैं, ये बेसिकली अलाउ करते थे डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ रिलीजन्स को या हॉलिस्टिक रिलीजन्स बोलूं मैं, उनको डेवलप होने के लिए ये वेलकम करते हैं बहुत सारे स्पिरिचुअल ट्रेडिशंस को। ये ट्राई करते हैं कि हम अपने अंदर संजो लें इन कॉमन मेन स्ट्रीम्स को, जो हमारे साथ विचारों में सेम है तो वो हमारे साथ सेम रहेंगे। तो अब चार वेदों की डेवलपमेंट कहें या वेरियस इंटरप्रिटेशंस हम करें उपनिषद्स की, बहुत सारी इंटरप्रिटेशंस हैं और अगर सबकी इंटरप्रिटेशंस देखें या पुराण्स क्लियरली अगर देखें तो वो हाईलाइट करते हैं प्लुरलिटी ऑफ हिंदुइज्म। एम्पेरर अशोका हुए थे। He was the first great emperor to announce as early as 3rd century BC में that the state would not prosecute any religious section because of the religion. तो बात करें जैनिज्म, बुद्धिज्म या लेटर इस्लाम या क्रिश्चियनिटी जब इंडिया में आए, इंडिया के सॉइल पे ये रिलीजन्स शुरू हुए, द क्वेश्चन फॉर द रिलीजियस टॉलरेशन एंड यू कैन से द को एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ डिफरेंट फेथ्स, क्योंकि सभी की भावनाएं अलग हैं तो तब से एक सवाल जो है वो बना रहा। तो सूफी या भक्ति मूवमेंट्स की अगर बात करें, they bond the people of various communities together with love and peace. तो सूफी मूवमेंट्स और भक्ति मूवमेंट्स का भी मकसद यही था। आगे चले तो ब्रिटिशर्स ने एक पॉलिसी अडॉप्ट करी थी, डिवाइड और रूल पॉलिसी। तो इस पॉलिसी के आधार पर उन्होंने रिलीजन बेस के ऊपर डिवीजन करनी शुरू कर दी थी। तो अगर हिस्ट्री में देखें तो हमारे पास सेकुलरिज्म का कंसेप्ट बहुत पुराना है। गांधी जी की सेकुलरिज्म आइडिया था was based on the commitment to the brotherhood of religious communities based on their respect for the pursuit or you can say truth. बल्कि जवाहरलाल नेहरू जो थे, his idea on secularism was based on the scientific humanism that was tinged with a progressive view of historical change. So, present scenario in the context of India, the separation of religion from the state constitutes the core of the philosophy of secularism, you can say. तो इस तरीके से सेकुलरिज्म हमारे इंडिया का पार्ट बना रहा। अब बात करें सेकुलरिज्म और इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की। और जब सेकुलरिज्म को इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के साथ रखकर हम देखते हैं, इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में बहुत सारी प्रोविजंस हैं। Although the word secularism was added in the constitution later, but the idea, the gist behind the provisions of the constitution were clearly or impliedly, you can say, they were talking about the intent to include secularism in the Indian constitution. This is clear that the incorporation of all the basic principles of secularism into various provisions of the constitution. So the term secular was added in the preamble by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, that was in 1976. India is a sovereign, secular, a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. It emphasized the fact that constitutionally, India is a secular country which has no state religion. There is no religion of the state, and that the state shall recognize and accept all the religions that are prevailing and that would come in the near future. The state would not favor or it would not patronize any particular religion. So, while Article 14 grants equality before the law and the protection of laws to all, irrespective of their religion, Article 15 enlarges the concept of secularism in the widest possible extent by prohibiting discrimination on the grounds of secularism or on the grounds of religion or race or caste or sex or a place of birth. So the scope of Article 15 is much wider in the terms of secularism, if we say. So Article 16, Clause 1 guarantees equality of opportunity to all the citizens in the matters of public employment, and and it was in retreats that there would be no discrimination on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex, or decent place of birth or residence. Then next is your Article 25. Just clearly or quickly try to recognize we have done in Indian polity about these articles. It's just I have written specifically the article numbers only here, and deliberately I have not mentioned any explanation there because all of you are well aware the content of the articles. You are well aware with the content of the articles. So by just reading the number, you can quickly recognize what was in that particular article. So the next is article number 25, which provides freedom of conscience. That is, all the persons are equally entitled to freedom of conscience, and they have a right to freely profess, practice, and propagate any religion of their choice. और फिर आप बात करें आर्टिकल 26 की, तो आर्टिकल 26 में रिलीजियस ग्रुप्स या इंडिविजुअल दे हैव अ राइट टू एस्टैब्लिश एंड मेंटेन any institution for religious purposes and charitable purposes and to manage the affairs in the matter of religion. So next in article 27, the state shall not compel any citizen to pay any taxes for the promotion or maintenance of any particular religion. So then next was article 28 that allows educational institution to maintain by different religious groups to impart religious instructions. Then article 29, 30 and 31a, we have article 29 and 30 that provide cultural and educational rights to the minorities. Article 51a as the fundamental duty that is the obligation of the citizens to promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood and to value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture. So basically, we just clearly try to mention what the constitution, what the gist of the constitution is talking about this word secularism. तो अगर बात करें इंडिया और वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज की, इंडिया और वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज की अगर हम बात करें तो यहाँ सेकुलरिज्म का बहुत डिफरेंस है. ओवर द इयर्स इंडिया हैज डेवलप्ड इट्स ओन यूनिक कंसेप्ट ऑफ secularism that is fundamentally different from the parallel western concept of secularism in many of the ways. तो वेस्टर्न मॉडल ऑफ सेकुलरिज्म जो है, द स्टेट एंड द रिफ्यूजी हैव देयर ओन सेपरेट स्फेयर, and neither the state nor the religion shall interfere in each other's affair. तो स्टेट एक अलग है, रिलीजन अलग है. स्टेट और रिलीजन आपस में एक दूसरे के अफेयर्स में दखल नहीं देंगे. तो वेस्टर्न कंसेप्ट ऑफ सेक्युलरिज्म दैट रिक्वायर्स कंप्लीट सेपरेशन ऑफ रिलीजन फ्रॉम द स्टेट. बल्कि इंडिया में लॉ in law nor in practice any wall of separation between religion and the state exist. neither in law nor in practice. तो बल्कि ऐसा कोई दोनों में दीवार नहीं है रिलीजन और स्टेट में. कोई ऐसा लीगली फॉर्मल चीज़ नहीं है इंडिया के अंदर, बल्कि फॉरेन में या वेस्टर्न मॉडल में ये दोनों बिल्कुल अलग हैं. इंडिया में स्टेट एंड रिलीजन कैन ऑफन डू interact and interfere in each other's affair within the legality prescribed in the law and judicially settled, you can say, precedents. सो जुडिशी एक पैरामीटर के अंदर है कि एक दायरे के अंदर है कि दोनों एक दूसरे के उसमें दखल दे सकते हैं. तो इंडियन सेकुलरिज्म डज नॉट रिक्वायर अ टोटल banishment and you can say separation of religion from the state affairs. तो वेस्टर्न मॉडल की अगर बात करें, द स्टेट कैन नॉट गिव एनी फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट टू एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन रन बाय द रिलीजियस कम्युनिटीज. ऑन द अदर हैंड इंडियन मॉडल में ऐसा है कि ये जो फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस मिल सकता है. स्टेट प्रोवाइड्स ऑल द रिलीजियस माइनॉरिटीज द राइट टू एस्टैब्लिश और मेंटेन करने के लिए एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन विच में रिसीव grants from the state. Western model में state does not interfere in the affairs of the religion till the time religion is working within the limits of law. बल्कि इंडिया में ऐसा नहीं है. इंडिया में बहुत बार इंटरफेरेंस देखा जा सकता है. वेस्टर्न मॉडल में सेकुलरिज्म religion is relegated entirely on the private sphere and has no place in the public life whatsoever. Western model prohibits any public policy to be drafted on the basis of religion. यानी कि state is absolutely distanced from the religious activities and practices of the citizen. बल्कि इंडिया में state has the policy of setting departments of religion and endowments, वक्फ बोर्ड etc. ये बनाए जाते हैं. It is also involved in appointing trustees of these boards. तो इस तरीके से स्टेट के जो है इंटरफेरेंस इंडिया में देखा जाता है. अगर हम बात करें, बहुत सारी ऐसे प्रॉब्लम्स भी पनपती हैं और इन प्लूरलिस्टिक सोसाइटी द बेस्ट अप्रोच टू नर्चर सेकुलरिज्म is to expand religious freedom rather than strictly practicing the state neutrality. तो स्टेट अगर न्यूट्रल भी रहे, पर सेकुलरिज्म की स्पिरिट को मेंटेन करने के लिए हमें रिलीजियन को थोड़ा फ्रीडम देना होगा. इट इज इनकम्बेंट ऑन द टू इंश्योर वैल्यू एजुकेशन दैट मेक्स द younger generation understand and appreciate not only the own religious traditions, but to understand the religious traditions of other people too. There is also a need to identify a common framework or a shared set of values which allow diverse groups to live together in harmony, to live with the sense of brotherhood. The prerequisites in the implement the social reforms initiatives like uniform civil code लाया जाए, are to create a conductive environment and forging socio-political consensus. तो ऐसी चीज़ें हमारे भारत में, हमारे देश में लानी आवश्यक भी है। क्यों? क्योंकि रिलीजन को, अगर स्टेट को आप कहेंगे कि वो बिल्कुल इंटरफेयर ना करे और एक न्यूट्रल स्पेक्टेटर बन के रह जाए, तो ऐसा सेकुलरिज्म की स्पिरिट को मेंटेन करने के लिए बिल्कुल भी अच्छा नहीं है। तो इस तरीके से सेकुलरिज्म जो है इंडिया के लिए इस माध्यम से एक बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट कंसेप्ट बन जाता है, और उसकी स्पिरिट को बचाए रखने के लिए देयर आर मेनी थिंग्स टू डू। नाउ द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक फॉर टुडे इज द कम्युनलिज्म। अब कम्युनलिज्म की अगर बात करें, इंडिया इज अ लैंड ऑफ वेयर पीपल हैव multiple faiths and religions. They are leading often which lead often to the violence and hatred among the people. Those who are fan in this religious violence, they do not consider religion as a moral order, but use it as a means and weapon to pursue the political ambitions. So पॉलिटिकली गोल्स के लिए, पॉलिटिकल गोल्स के लिए रिलीजन एक लोगों के बीच में एक दरार पैदा करता है। इस तरीके से दरार पैदा हो जाती है और उस दरार के आर और पार भी डिफरेंट ग्रुप्स बनते हैं, और इसको हम कम्युनलिज्म का नाम दे सकते हैं। इस टॉपिक को हम और अच्छे से समझेंगे। तो बेसिकली कम्युनलिज्म इज इन अ ब्रॉड सेंस, अगर कम्युनलिज्म की बात करूं, इट मीन्स अ स्ट्रॉन्ग अटैचमेंट टू वंस ओन कम्युनिटी, अपनी कम्युनिटी से चिपक के रहना, और जो कम्युनिटी चाहे सही करे या गलत करे उसके साथ चलना। इन अ पॉपुलर डिस्कोर्स इन इंडिया, it is understood as an unhealthy attachment to one of the one's own religion. तो कॉमनलिज्म इन इंडियन कंटेक्स्ट में अगर बात करें, इट इज मोस्ट कॉमनली perceived form of as the phenomena of religious differences between groups that often leads to tension and even writing between different groups. दंगे फसाद की जड़ बनती है, इट इन इट्स नॉट सो वायलेंट manifestation. So communalism also amounts to discrimination against the religious groups in the matters such as employment or in terms of education, you can say. In Indian communalism, there arises when religion is used as a marker to highlight socio-economic disequilibrium between the communities. So, religion is used as a highlighting marker. Uh, it creates a problem and as a force of multiplier, you can say, to demand concessions. So many times religion is used as a marker. Religion is many times used as a marker that often leads as a force or a multiplier. So combinedly these 2 points. When religion is used as a marker, it is often used as a force or multiplier for the for demanding concessions, you can say. uh, Basically this is used as a highlighter to multiplier or as a force for what, for concessions, for demanding concessions. Communalism as a political trade, or in the religion, it is an ideology in which communal politics is based. तो बेसिकली ये एक सोच है जिसके ऊपर कम्युनल कम्युनल पॉलिटिक्स बेस होती है, एंड कम्युनल वायलेंस आर कॉन्जेक्चुअल कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस ऑफ कम्युनल आइडियोलॉजी। तो कम्युनलिज्म की बात करें, एसेंशियली इट लीड्स टू द वायलेंस, इट इज बेस्ड ऑन न्यूट्रल रिलीजियस hatred. So this phenomena leads to the distinction between a communal organization and religious organizations. तो नेशनल कमीशन फॉर रिलीजन एंड लिंग्विस्टिक माइनॉरिटीज जो थी, हेडेड बाय द फॉर्मर चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया डॉक्टर the former Chief Justice of India. That was Mr. Mishra, CJI, the former CJI. He says that 10% should be reserved for Muslims and 5% for other minorities in central and state government jobs in all cadres and grades. Communalism is an ideology that, in order to unify the community, suppresses distinctions within the community and emphasizes the essential unity of the community against the other communities. So, in this way, it promotes belief in the बिलीव्स इन दी ऑर्थोडॉक्स प्रिंट्स, जो पुरानी सोच के घिरे हुए बादल हैं उनके ऊपर विचार जो है और मजबूत करना, और प्रिंसिपल्स इंटर इनटॉलरेंस, तो इनटॉलरेंस और हेट्रेड की भावना जो है रिलीजन के आधार पे उसको प्रमोट करना. इन वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज इट रेफर्स टू द फीलिंग ऑफ कम्युनिटी. फॉरेन कंट्रीज की अगर बात करें, वेयर इन whereas in India understood as a negative sense, it is a community in that is put against one or more communities. So there are both positive as well as negative aspects of communalism. We can disintegrate social fabric and disturb the peace of integrity through communalism. So there could be a feeling of unity side by side, or the group solidarity on the other hand. A communalized atmosphere, if we say, is one where there exists a deep seated animosity and suspicion among the communities. So basically, we can say there are both plus and minus of the term communalism. Then next are the phases of communalism. You can say mid stage, moderate, or extreme stage. Communalism is a communal ideology that consists of three basic elements or stages. तो mild stage, sorry, mid मैंने बोला. Mild stage is basically, it is the belief that people who follow the same religion have common secular interest. That is common political interest, common social interest, or common cultural interest. सो मॉडरेट स्टेज कौन सा होता है इन अ मल्टी रिलीजियस सोसाइटी लाइक इंडिया? दिस सेकुलर इंटरेस्ट or in secular interest or the followers of one religion are dissimilar, or they are divergent from the interest of the followers of another religion. So extreme stage कब आता है? when interest of different religious communities are seen to or mutually incompatible. They are incompatible and they are holistic. They are antagonistic to each other. They are against each other. Basically, the interest of one community is at conflict with the interest of other community. So basically, either this interest will survive or this interest will survive. So basically, these are the stages or phases of the communalism. So now we will just quickly revise what we have done about communalism by quickly just counting the features of the communalism. It is we have done it is a multifaceted process based on the orthodox theory or the intolerance theory, we can say. It also propagates intense dislike of other religions. So, next is the communalism. Communalism provides the fertile ground for the emergence of mutual distrust and disharmony among the communities. Then next we can say it stands for the elimination of other religion and the values of other religion. It adopts the extremist tactics, that is by including the violence, you can say, against the other people. Communalism leads to the abuse of power. It seeks to emphasize the social and religious norms of the community or the other communities by including force, you can say, by including fraud, you can say, economic and other allurements, you can say, and even assistance from the foreign powers could be taken. It is exclusive in outlook, and communalist considers his own religion to be superior to the other's religion every time. So communalism treats some citizens not as citizens, but as the member of some specific religious communities. So there is a big difference in thinking. Just look at this. One citizen is not thinking other one is a citizen. He is thinking that this person is not the citizen. This person is the member of another religious community. So there are many causes of communalism, you can say. For this, we can say many causes of communalism in India. तो बेसिकली इसके लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल हैं कुछ हिस्टोरिकल फैक्टर्स, कुछ पॉलिटिकल फैक्टर्स, इकोनॉमिक फैक्टर, कुछ सोशल फैक्टर्स और कुछ रोल ऑफ मीडिया भी रिस्पॉन्सिबल है. लाइकवाइज मैन इज ट्रैप्ड इन मीडिया लाइकवाइज. तो ब्रिटिश historians projected ancient India as being ruled by the Hindus, and medieval period as the period of Muslim rule, where Hindus were exploited by them. Some influential Indians have supported this uh, prospect. So many political factors are there. Also, communalism has flourished in India because the communalist leaders of both the Hindus and Muslim communities, they desire to flourish in the interest of their communities. So they demand for a separate electorate in the organization of the that was like in Muslim League. Then the British policy of divide and rule played a major role, giving separate electorates for Muslim, and later it was given to Sikhs and Anglo-Indians also. Ultimately, the partition of the country provided further autogonistic feeling towards each other. So, on communal lines, partition was happened. The politics of opportunism is the biggest case in which it happened in India. So many economic factors are also responsible due to the educational backwardness. People do not have been represented sufficiently in the public services, in the industry, in the trade, etc. This causes the feeling of a relative department deprivation, and such feeling contain can be seen in the form of communalism. Non-expansion of the economy, competitive market, non-absorption of the workers in the contributing fact is the contributing factor in the economic factor. The prominent reason why divide and rule policy became prominent was that the Muslim middle class had lagged behind the Hindus in terms of education, which contributed to their low representation in the government jobs. So, the we can say the demand for a separate nation of Pakistan got in favor of the marked inequalities in the social economic indicators. So, the next we can say there are some social factors too. That is beef consumption, you can say the Hindi Urdu imposition, or you can say the conversion effect, etc. Psychological factors are there under social category. Lack of interpretation, interpersonal trust between different religion and mutual understanding is there. That often leads to fighting, hatred, and anger, phobia, etc. So, likewise, these social factors are there. Along with this, media has very important role to play. It is often accused of sensitization and dissemination of rumors, such as in the form of news, you can say. Or today, in many social medias, India is not having threat much from any terrorism. India is having threat from social media. Many posts are there, many rumors are there, which मतलब एक दूसरे की रिलीजन के ऊपर कुछ ना कुछ टंच कसते जाना आप कहिए. गांधी जी is the portrait that direct action day, and the at that time he was against this kind of theories. So news or media has emerged as a powerful medium to spread messages relating to the communal tensions, and or that may even result in the riot to put up between many communities or in the country. So basically, what happens because of the communalism, the consequences of communalism could be the voters generally vote for the communal lines, they act on the communal lines, they just don't want to go beyond the communal lines. After getting elected, the representatives try to safeguard the interest of their community only and ignore the national interest. These conditions hinder the progress of the democracy as well as the nation. It is also a threat to Indian constitutional values, so which promotes secularism and religious tolerance. In that case, citizens don't fulfill their fundamental duties towards the nation. It has become a threat to the unity and integrity of the nation as a whole. Communalism promotes only the feeling of hatred and all in all the directions, dividing people and society into communal lines. So, communal activities occurring frequently, they do harm the human resource and economy of the country to much higher level, and they act as a barrier in the development of the country. The investment attitude towards the country from foreigners would be affected. They would be cautious. They would, no one will want to invest in a country where communal riots are there. The flow of labor from the productive activities is directed to the unproductive activities. The cases of hatred among different religious sections can be seen. A sudden increase in the violence against any particular community causes mass strikes in भारत बंद की कॉल इस तरीके से then with mass killings the real sufferers are the poor and who lose their house, their near and dear ones, and their lives, their livelihood, etc. In the violation and the violates human rights from all the directions. Sometimes some children they love their parents and will become orphans for a lifetime because of communalism. So basically, we can say communal violence is not good, and communal violence in India is seen in many of the incidents we have listed here. So basically, the partition of India, we can say the manifestation of the communal killings and disturbance related to the Calcutta killing that was in 1946, in which thousands of people lost their lives within a span of 5 days just. And the bureaucracy of and the butchery of Hindu at Nakhadi in Bengal and Muslims in Bihar, the carriage of partition rights in various parts of India, and the assassination of Gandhiji by a Hindu fanatic. So communalism also resulted in the division of India and the creation of a separate nation in the form of Pakistan. After partition, millions of population were forced to move from both sides of the border. Hindus in Pakistan and Muslims in India were killed in masses. Women were raped and many children lost their parents. This was hatred. If there was hatred everywhere, and that hatred can be felt even till now. So later it turned into the partition of the refugees, and their rehabilitation became the biggest challenge for the independent India. So next is the anti-Sikh riots in 1984. This is one of the bloodsheds in India, where Sikhs in large numbers were massacred by the anti-Sikh mob. So the masses took place in the response to the assassination of the Prime Minister Indira Gandhi by his own Sikh bodyguard, in response to the action authorizing the military operations. So next was the Operation Blue Star. It is a code name given by the Indian military operation to remove the separatist who were hidden inside the Golden Temple at Amritsar on 5th of June 1984. The operation was ordered by the Prime Minister Indira Gandhi primarily to take the control of the Harmandir Sahib complex or the Golden Temple in Amritsar, popularly known as Harmandir Sahib. The Indian military entered into the premises of the temple and they drive the Sikh extremist religious leader Sant Jarnail Singh Bhindranwala and his armed followers. So, issue of the Kashmiri Hindus was the next in 1989. Kashmir is known as the heaven in India and is known for the Kashmiriyat. So that is the reflection of love, that is the reflection of peace, that is the reflection of harmony, that is the reflection of brotherhood and unity of Hindus, Muslims, and other communities living in together. So, spread of Islam fundamentalism and terrorism in Kashmir Valley, and it led to the mass killing and large-scale erodes of Kashmiri Pandits during 1989 and 1990. The region continues to be threatened by the communal violence. So, Babri Masjid demolition in Ayodhya, that was in 1992, was the next. And then after the Godhra riots in Gujarat, and that were in 2002, Assam violence in 2012, the Muzaffarnagar riots in 2013, there are many incidents. So basically, there are many incidents that because of communalism, these incidents took place, and there are many issues there, and currently they are going on. The You can say the beef consumption and ensuing deaths of the cows, Muslims were the target at 51% of the violence centered on the bovine issue. And next is the Ghar Vapsi program. It is the series of religion conversion activities. Vishwa Hindu Parishad and the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh were the Indian Hindu organizations that were having the tag to facilitate the conversion of non-Hindus to Hinduism. So the religious fundamentalism among youth, it has been deemed as a major challenge among the youth. There is an ongoing threat of radicalization among Kashmiri youth, which can give an impetus to already existing separatist, you can say, tendencies. So the Minister of the Home Affairs estimates that 75 Indians have joined ISIS. However, the reach of the terrorist organization is spreading in India, especially through the medium of social media. So, we have seen the Delhi riots in 2020 in the northeast Delhi. New Delhi witnessed one of the worst communal violence in history of the national capital. The premise of New Delhi 2020 riots is based on growing enmity and destabilization of the communal harmony in the background of the Citizenship Amendment Act and the National Register for Citizens. So, ये चीज़ जो थी आफ्टर द कोविड 19 पेंडेमिक ये लुप्त हो गई। अच्छी बात है लुप्त हो गई, पर इट टुक ह्यूज फॉर्म। अब किस तरीके से हम इस कम्युनलिज्म को चेक कर सकते हैं? देयर आर मेनी स्टेप्स एट द पॉलिटिकल लेवल दैट कुड बी डन। पॉलिटिकल कम्युनिटीज शुड बी अवॉइडेड एज दिस डायरेक्टेड बाय द सुप्रीम कोर्ट। आइडेंटिफिकेशन एंड मैपिंग ऑफ द राइट प्रोन एरियाज, जैसे कि दिल्ली पुलिस यूज ड्रोन्स टू मॉनिटर द मेंटेन विजिल ड्यूरिंग द कम्युनल ड्यूरिंग द फेस्टिवल सीजन। मीडिया, मूवीज और अदर कल्चरल प्लेटफॉर्म्स को यूज करके हम डिसेमिनेट कर सकते हैं इंफॉर्मेशन को, पीस हार्मनी प्रमोट कर सकते हैं। सोशल मीडिया को मॉनिटर करना और वायलेंट एक्टिविटीज़ को पहले से हमें कंट्रोल करना चाहिए। सोशली रिलीजियस लीडर्स कैन प्रमोट रैशनल एंड प्रैक्टिकल थिंग्स थ्रू religious promoting religions promoting peace and harmony. And in schools there are textbooks and pamphlets to maintain brotherhood and respect of all religions. Uh, it's all about creating awareness through any medium. So economically, poverty is one of the major factors that results in communal violence. Poverty elimination measures could be taken by tackling the problem of poverty. We can do wonders. Eradicating the problem of unemployment could be one. Illiteracy could be one. We need to work towards eradicating the problem of unemployment among youth, uh, or we can say it should be done without any discrimination, reducing the educational and economic backwardness of the people. So by doing so, we can obviously we can just hope that the problem could be solved. The problem of communalism in India is very grave and can have far-reaching consequences. So this is the high time to curb the spread of communalism, building solidarity and assimilation of various religious groups at different levels of the society, workplace, neighborhood. So, emphasis on the value oriented education could be laid. Swift and prompt response to the radicalization by a militant group could be there. There is a need to reform the present criminal justice system. There is ensuring the political parties refrain from using religion as a weapon. Indian religious inter-religion marriage of two consenting adults should not be considered as a love jihad always. So the pluralistic settlement should be there. By equal opportunities in the commission in everything, that would really help. The government should criminalize the act of mob violence. Uh, for example, the Manipur became the first to pass a remarkable law against lynching, mob lynching. So, STEM laws should be framed by the parliament against communal violence. The CBI or the special investigating body should investigate the communal riots within a stipulated time limit. There should be a fixed time. Special courts should hear the cases. Expeditious disposal should be there. There is a need for minority welfare schemes. Increase in the representation of minority communities and weaker sections should be there. Uniform civil code should be implemented. Educational should be decommunalized. The education should be decommunalized. Increase in employment opportunities for minorities can play a major role. Religious heads can play a main role. For example, I have been into a program last month where उसको नाम दिया गया था सर्वधर्म सम्मेलन, और कम से कम 25 तरीके के रिलीजियस अनुयायी एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे एकत्रित हुए थे. द गवर्नमेंट शुड नॉट बैन माइनॉरिटी प्रैक्टिसेस. सो मीडिया, मूवीज और बाकी सारी चीज़ें बहुत बड़ा रोल प्ले कर सकती हैं, पर ये सारा काम लेजिस्लेटिव और एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव, आप बोलिए कि लेजिस्लेटिव सपोर्ट और एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव एफिशिएंसी के बिना पॉसिबल नहीं है. So basically, this we can say, in order to get the rid of problem of communalism in India, there is need of the collective efforts of everyone. All will have to discharge their duties. If we do so, definitely harmony will prevail. Everyone everyone will prosper. This must be done. This was the dream of Mahatma Gandhi for a free India. So basically, if I talk about what kind of questions are asked by the UPSC, in the year 2018 UPSC ने क्वेश्चन पूछा था, communalism arises either due to the past struggle or relative deprivation. Argue in giving by giving suitable illustrations. 2017 में distinguish between religiosity and communalism, giving one example of how the former has got transformed into the later and in the independent India. So basically कुछ ऐसा हार्ड एंड फास्ट कोई चमत्कार हो के बहुत मुश्किल क्वेश्चन नहीं आने वाला है. आपको इस टॉपिक की बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग ही चाहिए conceptual clarity chahiye, you can frame the answers accordingly. So this was all for today's lecture. I hope all of you have enjoyed. Thank you for watching. See you in the next lecture.